Hi guys, Jurassic Junkie here and welcome to the Friday Night Rant. Good evening, I hope you're all having a cracking Friday or Saturday or Sunday or whenever you're watching this. And today's a bit more of a relaxed Friday Night Rant. Can't speak. I'm cracking at this. I don't know why you even watch me. But yeah, I wasn't planning on doing a video today because City Skylines is out on the Xbox at last. It's a game that I've seen on PC for ages and I've always gone, I'd love that game, but I just can't be asked to play it on the PC. So I've been waiting for it to come to console, and it is, and today is the day, and I was like, yay, and it never turned up in the post, which is a bit of a bastard. So I'm like, right, I'll go back to work and carry on working. I thought I'll just stop for a bit and do a quickie rant. But yeah, so one, I've not got content lined up as such. But two, I just wanted to dabble in with a few things that I've been doing gaming related and just say my 2 cents on them all. And fingers crossed, I've got my microphone plugged in and I'm recording it straight into Premiere this time, so hopefully we're going to have decent audio today. But I wanted to talk about something I did, was a bit silly. I said on the last video, I think it was the last video, I was saying that the Scorpio has to shove itself off for me to want one, and I still stand by that. But I was also saying one of the other things that stops me getting one is I would need to upgrade to a 4K TV, and therefore the entire process would cost me over £1,000 to get a Scorpio. And Easter's just been and gone, and with it is the Easter sales, and I couldn't help myself, and I've just been and brought a brand new Sony Bravio 4K super duper TV. One, it was cheap, so I thought I've got to do it. And the other thing is, it's one of the things, it is so annoying because I didn't want to buy one, because without a Scorpio I can't fully utilise it. Yes, I can now watch things in 4K, but the PlayStation and the Xbox aren't 4K, and pretty much no content is 4K. Like, I know on Netflix you can pay a little bit more to get the 4K stuff, which I would do next month just to showcase off the TV, and then after I'll just go back to normal subscription. I'm not paying extra. That's why I found it so hard to actually want to get a 4K TV, because you can't showcase it without something as powerful as like the Scorpio, and if I wait then it's a double whammy because it's so fucking expensive. But the other thing is, when I was playing like Uncharted and stuff like that, I've gone into the PlayStation and I was like, turned on HDR, and it was just like, you don't have that on your shitty TV. So it's made me go, right, I kind of do need to get a new TV at one point, but at the same time, I've not exactly just broke the bank with the TV. I've had some money saved all the time, because at one point I knew I was going to get it. And the other thing is, we've had a change around in the house, and our bedroom and Joe's game room is separated again. At one point it was the same thing. So now we need a TV in her room and one in our bedroom, which means we need an extra TV, and everyone bumps up one. The games room will go in the bedroom, the good one will go to the games room, and now the 4K will go in the living room. So I was like, okay, then I'll do it, I'll justify it. So now I've purchased it. I haven't got it yet, so I had a chance to enjoy the fruits of 4K. But it's now made me really want a Scorpio, which is bad. I know, like, I still stand by it. I don't want to buy a Scorpio unless at E3 they can go, here's some graphics porn. I really need something to show it off. And the thing is as well, like, now I've purchased it, I know with PlayStation you've got the HDR, and obviously the TV will try to upscale the best of its ability, so I'm going to be able to see better stuff already. So the first thing I was like, right, I need to get Horizon Zero Dawn back, because I think that is one of the prettiest games on the planet at the moment, and also I just need it back. I've watched the video of somebody playing it the other day and I was like, I missed that game. I've done everything in it. There might have been a side quest that I missed, but I'm going to pick it back up and just play again, because it's such a lovely world to run around in. But nonetheless, it's made me go, right, I want Horizon Zero Dawn. I've got Uncharted, which I've now put a pin in, because I want to wait until I've got the 4K to fully utilise everything. So I've stuck a pin in that, and then on top of it, Joe just been and got me the Order 1866 or whatever it is. Now I know that's a mixed bag. Some people are like, oh, it's a bit crap, but from what I can tell, people have said it was annoying because it was so short. But aside from that, I know it really does look a gorgeous game. And it's made me realise again that to showcase off the TV, I've lent stronger on the PlayStation side, because again, I think PlayStation's graphics are better, and that's not because the hardware is better, it's because they do spend more time on making this graphics porn game, whereas Xbox doesn't. So it's a shame that I feel like the PlayStation is the only way to show off the 4K. Some people will be like, well, we've got this and Halo and all that lot, but these are games I've played, so it probably don't help that I have played the gorgeous ones already on the Xbox. But yeah, bringing back to it, the Scorpio all hangs on the fact is, have they got something to showcase the raw power of it? So yes, I'm a twat, I brought a 4K TV just because it was Easter. And the other thing I wanted to have a little chinwag about is games, because all I do is talk about bits about the news, but I've been playing obviously lots of games. I've not had a chance to spoke about it, and just to the side of you, I've got my list of all the games that I've played this year. And I've done about 5 since we last spoke. One of them though being Uncharted, and I like Uncharted, I think they're quite good. But the one thing that breaks me with Uncharted is I like the climbing, I love the dialogue between the characters. But the thing that kills me is its combat, and I'm not saying the combat's bad, I'm saying the combat's boring and repetitive. That's my problems with Uncharted. So you'll always get that scripted scene where you go somewhere and next minute 20 enemies just pour out of nowhere and you have to fight them. And I was playing Uncharted and I got through the mansion part and I enjoyed that, the way you had to go across the roofs and everything like that. And now I'm in Scotland. It was a case of you walk a bit further and boof, 20 guys pop out, and then you fight them, you go a bit further and it happens again. And what happened is, I got to a scene, I did it once or twice, I thought, well, I'm just going to put that down. And I put it down, and normally the next day when Jess goes to bed, I'll pick it back up again. And I didn't, and it 2 or 3 days passed. And I was like, I need to pick this back up, just because in my head I know there's just a boring meh part. So I got past it and I'm enjoying it again, but that's one of the things that I do find a bit tedious in Uncharted, is just them same scripted combat scenes. But I can't say it about the old game because I've not got all the way through it yet. But I will tell you one game I have completed, and it's Snake Pass at fucking last. That game is hard. When you first saw Snake Pass, especially because I brought it on the Switch, I was like, it's a cutesy snake game and I have to go around and collect little gems, nice, just pick up and play game, and it gets fucking hard, very hard. To the point, and I tell you now, I found one problem with the Switch controller, and it is when you get angry. Well, you shouldn't, because you're an adult and you're not a fucking idiot, but every so often I'm a fucking idiot. But you just go, out with the controller. Don't do that with the Switch, because it snaps in 2 anyway. Well, it snaps into 3. So yes, I had to watch myself for the anger on the Switch. But yeah, I think Snake Pass is a fantastic game to just push. It starts off relatively easy, and all you've got to do is just control the neck of a snake. But it gets good, and it's very fucking annoying at times, because you'll get your head up and then the wind will blow you and you fall off and you reset yourself for by about 2 minutes and you have to go, oh, it's rinse and repeat stuff, but I really enjoyed it. But then I picked up a few things on the PlayStation Easter sale. I got Everyone's Gone to Rapture, which I really enjoyed. I couldn't understand why people don't like them kind of games, because they are walking sims, but I really do enjoy a walking sim. And what I really liked about Everyone's Gone to Rapture is it's set in England, so it's cool to see like British road signs and just them country pubs, and when you walk into the pub you go, yeah, this is blatantly an English pub, and it's just very different. It's weird, like I've never thought about it before. You just play games and accept them, but you never really think, okay, this is mostly set in America. You just accept it as, yes, we're somewhere in the world and that's fine. But then when you do get somewhere which is just 100% British, it's quite jarring. You go, I think it makes you feel like it's more realistic as well, because you can relate to it more. But yeah, I really did enjoy that game. And then also in the sale I picked up The Park, which is, it's a walking sim again with a few jump scares in there. I quite enjoyed it. It only took me like an hour or 2 to do, but it was a couple of pence. No, I think it was £1 something or other. But it's one of them things. I always see these scary kind of games, and I don't play lots of scary games, but I play enough. And every time I fucking buy one, I play it. And then I get, when you think something's going to happen and you're like, oh, I don't want to push through, and then Joe's like, go through, you puss. I'm like, it's easy for you to say, I know we're both watching it, but when you're controlling it, it's you. You're the person in that game. And if you think something's behind you, you're the one that's got to have the balls to look behind your back. And it's just one of them things, every time I play it, I go, why the fuck do I do it to myself? But at the end of it, I always come away going, yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that. But yeah, it does what it does. I'm not going to say it's an amazing game, but yeah, I quite enjoyed it. But the other thing that I did play is the churning test, and I really liked that. It was longer than I expected, because most puzzle games are fairly short, apart from The Witness, which is hands down the best puzzle I've fucking ever played in my life. I really like that game. But nonetheless, the churning test is very good. I think the guys that made Numia, I can't remember its name, and I played that and it looks gorgeous and the puzzles are really nice on it, but I paid full whack for it and then it was incredibly short and I was like, bastard. Whereas on this one, it feels like they've padded it out a bit more, and it was one of them ones as well, it don't get too hard. So it was one of them ones where you can play it and then you pat yourself in the head go, I did that without walkthrough. But it might have been nicer to just put up the difficulty a little bit more. That's one thing I respect with The Witness. It starts off incredibly easy and ramps up and ramps up and ramps up and gets so difficult. But I like the fact you can leave some puzzles and come back to them and go off later. But yeah, nonetheless, the churning test was very good. So aside from that then, like I said, I've got Uncharted, which has now got a pin in it. But the other thing I want to say is, and it goes for both consoles, what do you think is a good game? And also not just graphically, colours as well, because now I've got a HDR TV, I know the games need to be set for it and all that lot, but it don't matter, it's always going to try its best to try and make something better. So what would you say is the best kind of, what the best games really to showcase off a new TV? Because I'm itching to justify my stupid fucking purchase. But the only one thing I do want to talk about that was been floating in the news this week is Microsoft now said they're going to allow Xbox users to be able to auto refund yourself on games that you're not happy with, which I think is a really good thing. They've got it on Steam, but at the same time it kind of got me a little bit worried because the information wasn't 100% clear. I've looked into it and there's more information now simply saying that the game has to be played less than 2 hours, but it also has to be booted up, which I think is quite weird, because if I left my controller down and just accidentally bought a game, I wouldn't even play it. I would just go to Microsoft and say, can I please get a refund? You can see I haven't even played it. So for some reason you have to play it to be able to get a refund, which is very strange. But nonetheless, the fine information, do you know what I mean? You've got to, you can't have played it for 20 hours and said, can I have my money back? So they make sense. But then I was kind of worried because I like to play my smaller indie games. So let's just take The Park, for instance. This is a game that's an hour and a half tops. So that means, in theory, if I would have bought that on Xbox, I could have clocked it and then asked for a refund and got one. So I can only assume that there is going to be an opt-out option, and a few people have said it. I've asked on Reddit and they've said yes, Microsoft's going to introduce something where developers can opt out, but there's no concrete information from Microsoft yet, and I can only assume they're going to have this kind of service in place for people that make these smaller indie games, because if not, it's going to absolutely kill them overnight, which is a shame. So they've got to put something in place. But then if it's in place, what's the rules for a developer to say, I want to be able to say no to refunds? Because then other people like EA, for instance, might be able to say, well, we want that as well. If you're giving it to them, we want it as well. So there's going to have to be some clear defining rules set by Microsoft to say who can and can't opt in and opt out of this service. But at the same time, obviously, some people might be like, great, I'm just going to play games and just smash through them and then just automatically ask for my money back. But you can only do so many in a set period of time or something like that. And again, we haven't got a full amount of information. But I think it's good because I've only asked for a refund, I think, twice from Microsoft, and both times they've been fantastic. They've just gone, yes. The one I can remember was the Halo Master Chief Collection, because it was fucking garbage. Well, it was lovely, the graphics was great, the gameplay was great, but it was just bugger. And online was just, you couldn't do it. And I only purchased it to play online and do co-op with my friend, and we was going through so far and then the game would just bang out. And so nonetheless, went to Microsoft, said this is bullshit, and they went like, yep, yes it is, here's your money back, which is great. So this service being in place now, I think is perfect, so you can ask for your money back when these happen. But like I said, we just need to find out what's the rules, because I don't want to see indie people get battered. But at the same time as well, somebody was talking about it like, well, you could use it as a demo service. You could go and play a game for an hour and then ask for your money back if you didn't like it. And I agree, you could do that, obviously, a set amount of times before Microsoft go, you're taking the piss. But that brings you back to, people are going to use this wrong because they're going to try and turn games into demos. And the reason they're doing that is because there's no fucking demos anymore. And I don't understand why. Like, there's a small percentage of games that give you a demo. But there's so many games I go through and I look at them and go, I like the look of that, but I'm 50-50. And I've not purchased these games because I'm 50-50. If you have a demo, the chances are I'll be spending more money on your games than you just giving me a couple of pictures and me having to guess what the game actually feels like. Now, I know it doesn't help that now everybody streams videos and there's a billion YouTubers going, watch me play this game. But I don't want to watch somebody play the game because it ruins it for me. I don't watch many Let's Plays. In fact, I don't watch them at all. But if I do, I'd watch it for comedic purposes because I maybe like that person and how they talk and make gags. But I don't want to ruin a game for myself, so I never ever watch anybody play. So it would help if people started making more demos. And I know Xbox is shit for demos, there's none on there. And then when I got the PlayStation, I went straight into the demo section. I was like, oh, this is great, there's a few demos in here. And then I realised there's like 12, I could be wrong, it might be 20. But that's throughout of its life. The amount of demos on there is pissed to say it's got thousands and thousands of games. So I would like to see the big boys, Microsoft and Nintendo. In fact, Nintendo's got some demos, so I can't badmouth them yet, but I don't know how many demos they have across the board until we have a lot more games coming out. But I'd like to see the console manufacturers start pushing demos a bit more, even saying if you put a demo out, we might put you on the front page for an extra day or something like that. So I think this should incentivize the developers to start giving us more demos. But that's where I'm going to leave it now then. So yes, on a whole, I think it's a very good idea that they're going to do it, but I would like to know a bit more information as to if the devs can just opt in or opt out. So as I said, it was just a quickie, simply because I wasn't expecting to film. I should have been playing City Skylines, which is a shame. So fingers crossed that should be here tomorrow, and hopefully in a few days my 4K should be here, and then I can just sit and go, what a fucking waste of money. No, I think I'll enjoy it, and like I said, I did need one because the TV's got to go into another room and stuff like that. So I am now one step closer to justifying a Scorpio. Oh, that's we'll see. But it's definitely changed it from my originally like 20, 80%, whatever. I can't remember what I said, but I'm closer to wanting one now to justify the purchase of the 4K. But we'll see. So, I'm going to love you and leave you. Oh no, what's happening? 10 minutes? Oh, bastard. I've just looked, it's done me 10 minutes. It's recorded me for 10 minutes and then it stopped. So, I won't use the 10 minutes of good audio because it will set you up thinking, oh, this is sounding nice, and then it's going to turn into utter shit. Fuck me, I don't understand why it's so hard to record fucking audio. Right, see you later, kids. Bye-bye.